in, kids, to the Bro Force Squad. Quick lifts alongside Jeff Hornacek and mad scientist Brian Banner. I'll be your host. My name is Matt Geiger. Now, this is a different quick lift since yesterday. We're going to do one on Guardians of the Galaxy 2 trailer that dropped, but this AM, Logan trailer dropped, so we have to do, we get to do both reviews.
It's a privilege.
Fantastic trailers. So let's bring in the bros. Jeff, I'll start with you, our Marvel man. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 trailer, your thoughts?
Well, I'll say this. Loved it, first off, but did not give us very much at all. The epitome of a teaser trailer. It's always great when we get these, though, because as a fan, it reminds you that this movie is an actual thing that is happening this summer. It was great to see it. The visual style looks just like what James Gunn gave us a few years ago with Guardians. The characters look the same. Little tease of Rocket and Baby Groot at the end. They're saving all the big reveals, I think, for the full-length trailer. I don't know when we'll get that, but I'm excited to see the villain. I'm excited to see Kurt Russell and, honestly, just the whole team back together again. But it was great to see, and I'm glad that James Gunn is obviously back directing and writing it. I'm fucking pumped for this movie.
All right, let's get scientific. Banner, your thoughts on Guardians of the Galaxy 2 trailer that dropped yesterday?
Hold on, I need to go get my wallet because you guys can take my fucking money now. I was blown away by... I didn't think that James Gunn could do it twice. I'm a big James Gunn fan. I'm a big Pratt fan. I loved the first Guardians. I think that it has a chance at going very deep in a tournament.
What are you talking about? Spoilers?
You haven't even teased that yet.
Oh, sorry.
You're disgusting.
It looks fantastic. I liked how they made Pratt look a little bit more rugged. He had a little bit of a beard. His hair was a little unkempt. Yeah. It looks like he's seen some shit, which is a little bit of a different Star-Lord than what we saw before. It has all the comedy that we loved. I'm super pumped for the music in it. And again, Baby Groot, you can't even say more with that.
Now, I was going to just host this, but I want to touch on this because I've been on record saying this is my favorite thing Marvel's ever done. And I think this will be better than the original because James Gunn is so behind this, and this is his fucking baby. It's not like Snyder that's doing a bunch of other projects in DC. This is the only thing he has. It's Star Wars in Space Marvel Edition, and all the actors are coming back. My boy Batista, Wrestling with Myself, if you haven't listened to that, listen to me on that.
Check it out.
My boy Batista is coming back as Groot.
He had a funny-ass line.
He was good in the first one.
He's fantastic in it. Cooper's back as Rocket Raccoon. Our boy Chris Pratt's back. Everyone's back. I think this one will be better than the first one, which, in my opinion, is the best Marvel movie ever. Now, switching gears.
Sorry, real quick, Geiger. I just have two quick things I want to say. Number one, visually, based on what we saw from the trailer and how great it looks, is this a movie both you guys think it's worth paying the extra to see in 3D or IMAX 3D?
This is a movie you have to see in 3D.
Yeah, I agree, right?
Yeah. I don't know about IMAX. I'm not a huge IMAX fan, but definitely 3D, yes.
And then my other question was, Volume 2, which is obviously the title of the movie and the soundtrack in this. How pumped are you guys? Because the music in this is almost like another character. I know, and they didn't give us anything new in the first trailer. I think James Gunn is really kind of holding back the track list as a reveal, so I'm pretty pumped for that.
One thing I want to see in this is a little 70s. They're doing 70s music, but a little more classic rock. I like some Steve Miller Band.
Yeah,
maybe
I think we'll get
like an Eagle in there or something like that would be kind of bad. Just because I love the classic rock. If they could kind of do that instead of the more kind of show tune stuff they're doing.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited to hear the music in this as well.
Get a little Sticks in there.
Fucking whiffed on.
I'll take some Sticks.
Yeah. I'll take some Sticks on it. I got one thing too. You threw this out there, Geiger. James Gunn is 100% behind this, and his Twitter and Instagram is evidence of that. If you go and look through the last year and a half of his Twitter, I don't think he has two things that he's tweeted about.
His cat.
And Guardians Volume 2.
Yeah. He does tweet about his cat.
It's a fucking adorable cat. It's adorable.
Not a big cat fan, but yeah, that one's pretty
I want to mark this. First time ever that I'm hosting, this will never ever happen again, mark my fucking words, is that I'm trying to rush Guardians talk so we can talk about our other things. So switching gears, the Logan trailer dropped this morning, and my fucking God. Now, I want to touch on this a little more than Guardians, obviously, because if you've watched it and if you haven't, click off this.
Banner, what's that noise?
He's jerking himself off, I think. I don't know. But it is fantastic. First, let's start with Banner, who is the biggest X-Men / Fox supporter on here. What did you think of the overall tone of this trailer to set up this movie?
It was perfect. You go from, let's think about Fox real quick. Fox's last movie was Deadpool.
Apocalypse.
Deadpool was funny. They hit the rated R. It was raunchy, blowing shit up. Not a lot of blood, but there was blood.
Sorry to cut it, but like a typical Fox fan, he's forgetting Apocalypse because everyone else did. But
there wasn't Apocalypse. Or has that already been written out of? Or has that already been written out of the timeline?
The last real movie was Deadpool, though. You are correct.
Or was Apocalypse written out of the timeline since we last spoke somehow?
Yeah, technically, if we're going chronological order, Apocalypse hasn't happened yet.
Let's not get into that discussion.
Yeah, I tried explaining chronological order of the X-Men movies to my wife last night, and it took 45 minutes. Now, we look at Logan, super dark, no comedy. You have this mentor passing the torch to Logan. They're doing Old Man Logan, which is a great comic line in the comics. I think they're going to do it right. It looks fantastic. The beard, the oldness, we're seeing a different side of Wolverine, kind of the sincere, but yet he's still a fucking monster. It looks...
This is fresh thoughts. I like to hear this.
I can't even say anymore. I'm literally speechless. Like, my 45-minute dump at work, I just watched it 5 times over again. Because...
I will have to say, Banner, whenever I watched Guardians of the Galaxy trailer for the first time, I was like, wow, that's good. And then I just went back to work. Whenever I watched the Logan trailer, I watched it again right afterwards. Yeah. I compressed it for like 3 seconds, and I'm like, I'm going to have to fucking watch that again because I don't think there's no way that was as good as I just saw. And then I watched it again, and I'm like, actually, it's better. It was fantastic. Jeff.
And I like it too because... Yes, it's a teaser. We don't know really what it's about, but yet we kind of do know what it's about.
That was more than a teaser. You got the overall tone. You got a couple characters that are in it. Jeff, our Marvel man, you say you count Fox as like a step kid that you don't really pay support to, right? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, like we'll babysit them for a weekend or something, but we're not paying for community college. To me, Guardians of the Galaxy was a true teaser. Really did not give us any plot points. Just kind of a... Hey, here's the characters, they're back. If you fucking love the first one, this is the same thing over again. This Wolverine trailer was incredible. The Johnny Cash music, just unreal. But the thing that I'm
about the Johnny Cash music.
Yeah, the thing that
I was actually hoping none of you would mention that so I could mention it. But okay. That was fantastic.
The thing that I'm most excited and curious about, as Banner said, this looks like an adaptation of Old Man Logan, which, if you've read the comic book arc, is incredible. Now, I don't know how they're going to do this story without Hawkeye, and I don't know how they're going to do this story without the Incredible Hulk in it, which are obviously very, very key elements to the Old Man Logan story, but... Introducing Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier. We talked about this on our Batman and Robin movie commentary. The best relationship in comics between two characters we think is Alfred and Batman. The second best in these movies, we believe, is Patrick Stewart Xavier and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. And we get them one last time. This looked like the best way to send him out as his swan song. And the trailer absolutely blew me away.
This is why I hate hosting on Marvel shit, because you guys took all my talking points away. The only thing I have left is it's rated R, if you don't know that, and if you can't tell by Wolverine putting his fucking claws through someone's head in a trailer.
That's just a Tuesday for Logan.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'm really upset about is that I've talked to Jeff and Banner about this off air, and now that we're on air, I want to say this publicly, that in 10 or 15 years from now, Goyer and Nolan and Christian Bale need to get back together and do something like this, and it needs to be a Batman Beyond movie where you're featuring Terry McGinnis to take on the Batman mantle.
Please.
I don't think The Dark Knight Rises is the last one, and we kind of got to look at Old Man Bruce in a way with the Dark Knight Returns type theme they did in Batman Superman, but not as good as you can do with a Batman Beyond movie.
Why don't you ask the KG Beast and the other guys working for Lex if that felt like Old Man Bruce kicking the shit out of them?
It looks like fucking Bruce in pretty well this
when
time.
When he powerbombed someone's head through a wooden staircase.
Speaking of looking good, has Hugh Jackman ever looked as good as he looks in this one?
This is what's weird about it is he's supposed to be old and broken down, but he's in the best shape. He gets in better shape in every time. Movie.
I feel like he looks at himself in the last one. He's like, "Wow, I only had an 8-pack. I'm disgusted with myself."
And it's so hard to. I think that he's the hardest actor to talk about, Hugh Jackman, because there's not words that fucking describe what he's done for the comic book universe, for comic book movies in general.
He's a gift. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah,
he's a legend.
You can talk about Michael Keaton or Christian Bale or Ben Affleck all day long. This guy, for, 16 fucking years? Because that first X-Men movie came out right at 2000. For 16, it'll be 17 years once this movie comes out, has been doing this through and through. Every time he comes, even though if the movie's bad or good, he's the best fucking person in it. There's just not... You can't fucking talk about Hugh Jackman because there's just so much fucking to say and you just can't put it into real words. Now, the other thing I want to ask you guys... and this might be the first time this has ever fucking happened. Has Fox upstaged Marvel? Because Guardians came out yesterday, and it was the talk on our Facebook page. Twitter was blowing up. Everyone was hitting us up. Hey, have you seen this? We were having good conversations about it. Then about 8 a.m. this morning, I went to work out, and I was just checking my fucking Twitter feed, and I saw this come out. And now no one's talking about Guardians. Everyone's fucking talking about Logan. So, Banner, did Fox finally upstage Marvel?
I'm going to say no, and this is why. Has Fox ever not done marketing well?
Yes.
I don't think... When?
Ever not done marketing well?
No, on their X-Men movies. They knocked it out of the park with Deadpool, obviously. X-Men Apocalypse looked fantastic, and they did a great job with marketing.
Days of Future Past was all over Doritos bags. I remember that.
Yeah, okay, I understand what you're saying. The trailers always look good, and yes, they're on Pepsi.
They can sell you a bag of shit better than anyone you know.
And exactly.
X-Men First Class was actually all over the NBA Finals that one year. So yeah, I understand what you're saying. You're correct.
See what I'm saying? And Marvel, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. They're the same formula because it works. Fox, I think their marketing team is the best out of all of them. Now, the movies is a different story, but like you said, Jeff, they can sell you the best steamy pile of shit there is better than anybody. I think if you gave this movie to Marvel, the marketing wouldn't be as good, and vice versa. I think Doctor Strange, if Fox was doing just the marketing for it, it would look 1,000 times better than it does.
So Fox is like the girl who can put together a really hot online dating profile, but then you show up and you're like, how old were those pictures that you posted? You don't look like that now. So short answer, did Fox upstage Marvel? The short answer is, yes, they did. But Fox needed to. People are really wearing thin with these X-Men movies. Even as Hugh Jackman's last film, I know we all had discussions off the pod saying like, man, I just feel bad for Jackman. He brings it every time. I hope they don't screw this up. In Guardians of the Galaxy 2, yes, Wolverine is a known quantity. Everyone knows and loves him. But Guardians of the Galaxy 2 needs to do the least amount of marketing to get people in the theaters. Just let people know when the fuck it opens, and you're good.
Yeah, so, you know when Guardians did their most marketing? When they released Guardians 1.
Yeah, so Fox, short answer, Geiger, yes, they upstage Marvel, but I really think they needed to, and they knew it.
Okay, I can't believe I'm fucking saying this, but I bash Fox a lot. And if anyone out there that's listening to us, that likes on Facebook, that subscribes to us on iTunes, can actually call me or text me or inbox me or email me how all of these movies actually connect and it makes sense, you can have my seat at this fucking table because there's no fucking way that'll happen.
And no joke, people out there, especially our Facebook followers, if you want to come on this pod and try and explain that to us, we would actually love to have that discussion.
I would love it. I don't know if there's enough beer in my place to do it. But since I made my stance as a DC fan, I want to say this about Fox. Fox did something that Warner Brothers will never fucking do, and that's admit that what they were doing was not fucking working. They were getting their ass kicked every summer, so what did they do? They threw in Deadpool, a rated R movie, which was the movie of the year last year as comic book movies go. I don't care about... I love Batman and Superman. Civil War was pretty good, but Deadpool was the best fucking movie last year. And what are they doing now? They're doing an R-rated old man fucking Logan story.
That takes balls.
It does take balls because a rated R movie during Valentine's Day is fine if it's funny because girls and boys can go to it together as dates. But this movie is just going to be brutally testosterone fucking filled. And another thing about Fox started everything, and I know I'm kind of backtracking about myself. The Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson Batman, I feel, started the ball rolling with the comic book movie genre. But the first X-Men started everything connecting and everyone kind of competing against each other. Now, everyone thinks Fox is down. I'm going to say they're not. They're starting everything again with this rated R genre, which no one had the fucking balls to do. They're doing it on the comedic end. Now they're doing it on the badass, I'm going to kill everybody, gruesome fucking end. And no one else, DC, my DC included, and the Marvel Studios has had the balls to do that. Now, it takes a lot of bad movies and bad reviews and getting your ass kicked by Marvel and DC every summer to do that, switch gears, but I applaud you, Fox, for actually having the fucking balls to do it and not just keep throwing out these X-Men movies that do not fucking make sense.
They have nothing to lose.
Last thing I'll say, if there's anyone out there that says...
Dangerous animal in the wilderness, though, Brian, is the one that's fucking wounded and cornered, so I watch out for Fox.
When you got your guts hanging out and you're starving, you're going to do what you got to do to stay afloat, and that's what they've done. And I'm so fucking excited. The thing about it, too, is Deadpool had a good story behind it as well. And it appears that Old Man Logan, or Logan, is going to have a good story behind it, too.
I'll say this.
Go ahead.
Last thing I'll say, if anyone out there says that, yeah, this is rated R, but, I still feel like Fox will keep it relatively toned back for a rated R just to help with the box office receipts. If you know anything about a Wolverine who has lost everything he cares about in his life, that person will literally kill everything on Earth. So, and if that's what we see in this, which is very similar to the Old Man Logan storyline, where it looks like the rest of the mutant race is extinct and everyone he cares about, he's probably not going to be out there giving out hugs on the side of the street.
This is one thing I want to kind of end it with, is everyone is balls deep about shit connecting right now, which is fine if it works. If it doesn't work, you know what, Fox? Just keep doing great movies. Deadpool and Logan don't have to connect. The next movie you do doesn't have to connect. Back in the day, what was it, 5-6 years ago, The Dark Knight Rises came out, nothing connected about it, but it fucking killed the box office. Just make great comic book movies. If connecting isn't your strong suit, don't fucking connect them. Do you guys agree with that?
Just make good movies. That's all I care about.
Just make a fucking good R-rated movie that I want to go see.
If it's a good movie, it's a good movie.
Yes.
Like The Wolverine, it didn't really connect like it did, but it didn't. It was still a decent movie, and they did what they had to do in it.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for us. Please check out our other content as well. We have WWE podcasts. We got Westworld podcasts as well. And, of course, we're your #1 spot for anything comic book movie related. Keep up to date by following us on Twitter at BroForceSquad, like us on Facebook, comment on our YouTube channel, and subscribe to us on iTunes. Until then, we'll check you later.
Thanks, guys.